So you want to be more productive than 90% of people, hence why you clicked on the video. And it's like, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. And you're not going to even, like, you don't even, it's so crazy what it is. But you got to, let me explain, hear me out. First of all, if you are the type of person to watch this type of video, like, really think about what kind of person you have to be in order to watch a productive video on YouTube. You're probably already relatively productive. You like the feeling of being productive. Hence why you're watching more videos on how to be more productive. But all of these videos are really by the big channels. They're catered to like beginners, right? They're catered to like saying like the Pomodoro technique and read Atomic Habits and all this little bullshit that you don't need to actually hear. You are probably way more productive. You're probably even a high performer if you're watching these videos trying to maximize your gains or like whatever it may be, right? But the point is, you actually want to be more productive in order to be more successful in something. Whether that's like get in better shape, make more money, find love more efficiently, whatever it might be, right? It's like you just want or get your homework done faster, right? It's like all of those things are so simple. They're so easy. The actions you already know you need to take, you just have to do them, right? It doesn't take a productivity tactic that actually gets you to the next level. And if you're actually watching this video and you're relatively productive, the actual thing you need to worry about is not productivity anymore, it's creativity. Okay, the whole idea of like, oh, work really hard and work as many hours as you can and 80-hour work weeks, like that's all bullshit. That's all narratives that like the government and like the system and the media fed you into for you to become like a mule, a farm worker, where it's like, if you took the dichotomy between a mule and a lion, right? A mule is like a deer or like the little horse or whatever that like moves the hay all day, right? It's like they're just there to like work 12 hours, right? Where there's like moving the hay back and forth off that little cart, or like a farm worker who's just like pushing the like harvesting for like 12 hours a day or whatever like shit the farmers do, right? But it's like for you to actually get to the next level, being a mule will not take you there. Okay, like you need to actually learn how to become creative, not a servant of sorts, right? Like you need to become a king. And who's the king of the jungle? A fucking lion, right? And it's like, what do lions do? Lions lay around in the sun all day. They're with their girl or whatever, right? They're piping. But when they need to, the only like real problem a lion has is when they're hungry, or when they need to eat, when they need to hunt. So what do? Do you think they're like studying for 8 hours or using some weird technique in order for them to be productive and get the thing done? No, they're like snipers. What do? They look for their target, they line up perfectly, and then they like this. They get the fucking deer that they're gonna eat or whatever, like a little lamb. That you need to become a sniper. You need to become creative. You need to understand that smart work is what takes you to the next level. Hard work is not. Hard work is just a false narrative that is just has tricked you into like, it created a limiting belief within your mind that you genuinely need to decondition yourself from. You need to detach from it, because if you don't, you will forever chase the idea of working hard, which means expending energy, which means spending more time doing something when you don't need to, right? There's no need for you to spend 8 hours working a job when you can make more money selling one product or selling one service, right? But it's like, who benefits from that, right? Who benefits from the idea of you working 8 hours for another company and not making as much money as you want, right? If you truly value your own freedom, your own time, your own money, you would understand that you need to detach from the idea of productivity and working hard and being a hustler. All of that shit is bullshit. All of these people, the person who hustles the most is not the richest person, right? Because if that was the case, CEOs who just do like financial management and like company overview would be poorer than like the person who does like immigrant farm work, right? Or like any immigrant work, right? Those immigrants who like be coming to like sneak into the country or whatever the fuck, they be doing the hardest work possible. They're out there in the sun trying to get anybody to hire them, and then they're like moving blocks all day, right? Whatever they're doing for construction. And so it's like, you have to understand the hardest worker is not the richest worker. And so if you actually want to be more productive for like productivity's sake, like yes, you can watch some random video and they tell you to do Pomodoro technique. All those little techniques, they work. But for someone to watch these types of videos on YouTube, you're probably already a productive person. You don't need more productivity videos. You already know what it means to be productive. You enjoy being productive. Hence why you're trying to maximize your productivity. But that's just useless. Okay, you need to understand how to become creative. That is the new meta, right? Especially in the modern day where technology has taken over, the need to be productive is just gone, right? It's like back then when there was like no machinery, you had to be more productive. You need to be able to expend more energy. You need to work 8 to 12 hour days in order to get the factory work done, right? To like get the bills paid. But now with technology, especially with the internet, everything has modernized. Everything is so much easier, faster, and quicker that it's like, for you to become more productive would actually be counterproductive, right? It would be counter to your own success, because Right now, what you should be thinking about doing is building systems, building automations, delegating in order for you to become more successful, more rich, whatever it is that you want. It can all be like so much faster. It's just you don't believe that it has to be faster because you probably grew up with the idea that like you need to struggle and it needs to be hard and you need to really hustle in business. Like all of that shit is so bullshit once you actually get into the weeds of everything. Because it's like, think about every single like business that, like, if you ever hear about the idea of business, like for me personally, I used to always hear like, oh, business is 80-hour work weeks and you gotta work in the business and you gotta, be poor for ages. But it's like those are the people who are like dumb. Like they didn't know how to operate business properly, which is 90% of people. In every endeavor, 80 to 90% of people are all noobs and casuals. Whatever endeavor. Classrooms, business, video games, the gym. 80 to 90% of people don't know what the hell they're doing, right? So do not take advice from the masses. Take advice from people who actually have what you want in life, okay? And so, like, if you're gonna go to the gym, don't take advice from some random person telling you about like a diet, like the random guy in the sauna or whatever, right? Take advice from the guy who's actually jacked. Take advice from the guy who looks like you. Take advice from the guy who's the same age as you and who's actually in better shape than you, right? Do not listen to the masses. I'm telling you, that is the worst thing you can possibly do because they feed you this narrative bullshit, just like the system feeds you like, oh, go to college, get a good job. And it's like a majority of people go to college and they can't even land a fucking job, let alone ever get a six-figure salary. So it's like, and even then, like 6 figures is so low in terms of actual how much money there is in the world that it's like, why would you ever set yourself up for that limitation of like having a income ceiling, right? It's like if you're in your own business, if you pursued entrepreneurship, if you actually just took care of your own money, you would understand that I can make way more money than 6 figures. I can have way more freedom than I ever wanted, and I can have so much more power, right? Over my own life, taking care of my family, whatever it may be, right? So it's like detach yourself from the idea of working hard, being more productive, and think about smart work, creativity. What does that mean? If you've ever played video games, you'll know what this is. It's like looking for exploits, look for hacks, look for shortcuts in reality because they exist. They really do. But it's like you have to be able to find them. You have to really get into the weeds and be like, okay, what can I do to make this even faster and easier? And I know if you're watching this video, you already are someone who does this because there would be no reason for you to watch a YouTube video in order for you to learn how to do something better. That's really you looking for a cheat code. Okay, these are cheat codes. If you ever took courses, coaching, or consulting, that is a form of cheat code because you are now, instead of wasting your own time and energy, you're paying to get the time and energy back, okay? That's all cheat codes are. If you've ever played a video game or you found like a little exploit that saved you like half a second, it's like, it doesn't matter that it's half a second, it's the fact that you're gonna do it hundreds of times that saves you minutes over the long horizon or whatever, right? But it's like, if you've ever like did homework and you used Google or you used ChatGPT, whatever it may be, those are all exploits in reality that you need to be using. Don't be like, oh, that's cheating, I'm not gonna fucking cheat. It's like, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, bro. Like, think about that quote. I love that quote so much because it's like the people who want to win the most, people who want to succeed, they all find exploits. They're all cheating in some way or another, right? There's people who will like I figured out recently that there's people who will work and smoke nicotine at the same time or chew nicotine gum because it makes them addicted to doing the work. Like, you see how weird of an exploit that is? Where it's like you just do little hacks that nobody kind of knows, but it's like you're doing it and make everything easier. Something I did that I didn't even realize was every time that I would go to the gym, I would chew gum and I would have like surround sound headphones on, and I just completely get immersed. I don't want to fucking go to the gym every day. I'm tired most of the time, but it's like as soon as I chew gum, the music's on, I'm like ready, like just like that. You switch the environment, everything goes like blank. I'm like, all right, let's just get this shit done, right? And so it's like you have to find these little exploits for your personal gain in whatever endeavor, right? If it's like you want to do better, if you want to finish your homework quicker, if you want to get more work done, if you want to, I don't even know, like get your like tasks like cleaning or whatever done faster. Find those little things. It could be setting up routines, setting up habits. For my homework, I used to literally set up the date before it was actually due and put it on my bookmark bar, so it just sit there and just annoy me, right? If I know people who will like on their calendar write check marks every day that they do something because then it stacks up the wins. It's like look for these little weird creative exploits in reality, and that is how you will be more productive. Become a lion, not a mule. Be a smart worker, not a hard worker. Adapt to the new meta. That is how you will win and become successful in modern time. Do these things and in the end you're gonna fucking win.